What I've come to realize in life is that there's someone who will always be better than you in some areas. For example, there'll always be someone who's better looking than you. Someone that's taller, has a better facial structure, whatever it is, someone who's more skilled at something that you're trying to pursue, someone who's more charismatic, funnier, has a better, I don't know, better personality. And for a lot of people, they don't like to hear this because it clashes with our egos. We like to believe that we're the best or that we have it all figured out. Or on the opposite, it reinforces our negative beliefs that we have about ourselves. Maybe we don't think we're the best. Maybe we think really low of ourselves, and hearing that someone is better than you will just reinforce that. For me, I've been on both ends of the spectrum. I've had a really low self-worth to the point where if I'd see someone who's slightly more attractive than me, someone who's funnier, it ruined my mood because I was like, fuck, it's just reinforcing my low self-worth. Or, as I said, the opposite, when I was feeling good and I was thinking I was the man, I was the most handsome guy in the world, or I was thinking, oh wow, I've built a lot of muscle. There's always someone who is ahead, or someone who is just genetically better. Like, I wouldn't say superior, but someone who's a bit more better looking in some regard. But you shouldn't let that get to you. You shouldn't, because life isn't a beauty pageant. Life isn't a competition. And I know on social media, especially with the red pill community, and especially with men, we like to make it seem like everything's a competition. When it comes to dating, when it comes to skills, when it comes to followers, it's not a competition. There's people who will have advantages. There are people who are going to be better at certain things, but that doesn't mean that they're any better than you. Listen, life is short. We shouldn't be worrying about what other people have. We shouldn't be worrying about whether or not this person is better than us or not, whether this person has a more structured jawline, because it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. The impact that you can have on people, the things that you can do, it's not dictated by your looks. It's not dictated by what was given to you from birth. It's dictated by what you do in life. It's dictated by how you show up, your character, these things. And there's always stories. You probably hear it a lot. There's stories of these athletes, these, let's say, even musicians, engineers who were at the bottom. These people weren't even scouted. They weren't even looked at for the early parts of their life, but then they worked. They they kept going. They kept pushing, and eventually, they made a mark in history. They did things, and the reason why I'm telling you this is because you might not be where you want to be right now. You may think that you're ugly, chopped. You may think that you're maybe you're not the funniest, you don't have the best personality, you're not attracting girls, but don't let that put you down, because it doesn't matter if people are ahead of you right now. You could always improve and catch up, or even, like, not even catch up. I'd say you could always get there, because it's not, as I said, it's not a competition. It's not. Get that out of your head. Life isn't a competition. It's Life is what you make of it. Now, competition will help you in some regards. Like, for example, if you are trying to do something, like, let's say if you're competing with your friend and you guys are competing to, let's say, like in a business or in sports, that's when competition will be good. But when it comes to your mindset, when it comes to life, don't have this mindset, because there will always be someone better than you, no matter how well you are doing. I'm telling you, you could have the most money, you could have, you could be the best looking guy, male model, but I'm telling you, you'll always find something in other people that you deem important that they'll have above you. Like, for example, me, a bit, sometimes I get a bit insecure about, height. I'm 6 foot, but there's guys who I see who are 6'4", 6'5", and I'm like, fuck, man, like these guys just are just way taller than me. They have more presence, but I need to get that out of my mind, and at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because those guys could be looking at 7 foot guys and be like, wow, I want to be 7 foot, or those guys could be looking, oh wow, this guy's a better face. It's all relative, and this is what I'm trying to say is life should you just appreciate the things that you can control, appreciate the things that really matter. For example, family, character, your experiences, the impact you have on others, because as I said, there will always be someone better than you. When you put all this energy, when you put all this importance onto surface level things, it will only lead you down a path of disappointment. Because I'm telling you, if you are trying to dominate the room, you're trying to become the best looking guy, you're trying to be the funniest, you're trying to be the most charismatic, and it's like a competition, it's a scoreboard, you aren't going to be happy. And I just want to keep putting that out there because it's a simple message, but a lot of people need to hear this because a lot, especially as I said, nowadays, especially with guys, we like to compete. We think everything's a competition. A lot of guys do. We think that if we're not the best looking, then the girl that we want will go for the best looking guy. We think that if we're not the funniest, then people won't pay us any attention. We think that if we're not the most charismatic, then other people. But no, that's not how life works. Listen, as I said in many videos, there have been guys who are like way less attractive than me, objectively. But these guys just had insane confidence. They had insane self belief, and guess what? They get girls. They get the girls that I want, simply because of their mindset. And that's what I'm trying to say is always remember in the back of your mind that it's not a competition. A girl, there's a girl that you really like that that will love you for you, that will literally just love you for who you are, everything that you have to offer as a man. But I'm telling you, there will be girls also who won't like you at all, who will just think that you're the most chopped guy ever. But then there will be girls that will think that you're the most handsome guy ever. Listen, as I said, it's not a competition. It's not a competition, and always get that in your head that there will always be someone who will be better than you. And I want to put that in quotation marks, better than you. It's not, I don't literally mean better. I mean that you think that they'll be better at face value because they have things that you deem as valuable, but it's not. So always remember that. If there's things that you need to focus on character, focus on experiences, and focus on mindset, because it's all in your mind. When you start putting importance into character, you start putting importance into other things other than these superficial things. Naturally, your energy will change. People will start gravitating more towards you because you'll just live life more freely. You won't be second guessing yourself. You won't let someone who has like a so-called better chiseled jawline than you put down your confidence. I'm telling you, you got this. Don't worry. I was in the same boat. I was, even now sometimes it's hard. Even now sometimes I look at people and I'm like, damn. As I said, that guy's taller, maybe better looking, but don't let it put you down. Let it uplift you. Let it motivate you. Anyways, if you enjoyed the video, please feel free to like, subscribe, comment, follow for more tips. Bye.